Next up is John.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Adam, for reading. Really enjoyed that. And I actually, ahead of time, read through the first 2 chapters and loved it. And wanted to kind of figure out what sort of poems I could read that would fit into a similar sort of theme. And so I picked out 4 poems, and it kind of marks a progression through my life. The first poem is sort of chaotic and confused and questioning things, and it's kind of like a downward spiral. The next poem is pretty dark and heavy. The third poem offers a sort of resolution, but doesn't quite get there. And then the last poem kind of goes down again, and like a phoenix rises and is renewed. So this first poem is called What Is? Right, Clemente. What is a chain made of feathers, Houdini fetters, securely bound to a bough in the breeze? A snake in the desert with water-filled fangs, a cactus with tattooed spines, a cave overflowing with blood, spilling its occupants into the mud, to see their reflections against the sky, reminding them all they can fly. A barbarous beating, repulsive, entreating, a white flag suffocating. An old witch chopping bones into bits and feeding her garden with marrow. A stitch in the chest leaking light from a star, a siren wailing, a bunny flailing, a Chinese finger trap, a burning dove, a yearning bud, a drop of boiling sap, a pointed illusion popping balloons, scattering skulls like crystals of snow, pounding the glyphs into granules of sand, splitting and cleaving the oneness of man. Drowning in dry desert air, thundering silence, the gentlest violence. An octopus squeezing the jam from your eyes, pulling you down, down, down to the depths as bubbles escape in the shape of your breath, living glass singing your silent demise. The crash of the sea upon the skin, a shore of peachy cells and eyes, tingling round a tangle of spines, the wispiest whispers clouding the skies, born on the billowing breath of the moon, piling mountains and spilling them down, pulling and growing, then pushing and glowing, filling the living with silent knowing. A castle built only to be washed away. A tiny green flash, a lunatic's laugh, a hole in the sink, the death in the blink of an eye, the setting of something holy and grand, the howling pack, the hollowest tap, the blackness of space and time, a slightly cracked looking glass, the slippery ocean rim, the singular stillness deep inside, the most imperfect rhyme. The next one is called Deep Rest. The desert in my heart indicates a lack of flow. When my mind, the kitchen sink, is overstuffed with things to know, moldy spores begin to grow, warning me I'd best let go, lest my pipes get too gunked up and I have to explode. Feeling afraid to long for more, I simply even the score. For if I don't play to win or lose, I may remain unsure. Unsure, watching the water lap at the sand and laugh at the man I swear that I am. I sell myself short and bite my retort, blinking to shutter my eyes. On this lonely island of I am the least of all I can see. Seemingly I am not of the sky, nor am I part of the broiling sea. I am a skinny sack of bone, a cosmic blip, unloved, alone. This third one is called Dream Speak. Reasonably, I used to believe that I was a limited being of needs, which would not be met unless I could get to a flag hoisted sky high over my head, which I shivered to reach, higher than the noon sun, overshading everyone. So I shaved my artsy pounds and became a knowledge hound. Like Tommy Ed or Albert Ein, I promised to ever find new things to sate my curiosities about the trees and the girls, and all the mountain hoods endlessly casting shadows of mystery, outlining valleys vast, pounding the mountain pass, molded from hands of clay, counting on every day to cast a picture frame, bathing the world in flame with bitter attitude, considering the tune of all the pine cones, crooning and spooning and spinning and spitting and dancing and lifting and flying and sighing and dreaming and whining and waking and taking and walking and talking and making and sticking and milking and stalking and sticking and lacking and making and stacking and stopping and dropping and rolling and lolling and laughing and lauding and flipping and scolding and screaming and crying and panting and lying and parting and dying and sniffling and snaffling and absolutely baffling and peopling and puzzling and grizzling and guzzling and fizzling and fastening and slithering and slathering and blithering and babbling and scribbling and scrabbling and dribbling and dabbling and troubling and doubling and tripling and sappling and stippling and dappling and crippling and crappling and accidentally appling and fetching and retching and fletching and stretching and pitching and clutching and stripping and strapping and stitching and stuffing and ripping and wrapping and rimming and wrapping and clipping and crapping and chipping and clapping and happening and sharpening and darkening and shenandoah-ing and showing-gunkening. And this last one is called Sanctuary. I don't want to die, so I stifle my feelings like sneezes in a sanctuary. I want nothing from anyone at all, so I may stop chewing my words like cud. But secretly, what I want to die is the incessant obsession over whether what I do will make me feel enough. In uncertainty, be silent and listen. In anxiety, be still and know. And in despondency, be love and remember, love is all I am. That's it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, John. That was a really cool experience, and I think it's really awesome when you're saying something so powerful that you can just hear the silence in the room around you. Yeah, I really enjoyed that.